Hello there. So the game that I'm gonna do today is called Samorost 3. So Samorost 3 is an exploration, adventure, and puzzle game which follows a continuous mechanics and dynamics where players can play the game at their own pace. Here, as you can see, we get to use this white character here as our main character, and then he is guided with a dog as well as using, and then also with a trumpet as his item. The game follows a very simple mouse-based game mechanic where point and click is used. So we see here that the mouse changes accordingly. So whenever I move the mouse to an item which is clickable, then the mouse will change. So here, the game also shows instruction of how to use the mouse or what can you do with the mouse within the game. As in like left click, right click as in scrolling down the mouse here. So for example, the game in gameplay shows that you have to actually move the trumpet towards the tree here to show the interaction between the tree and the user. So as you can see here, the horn is a permanent item in your inventory that provides negative feedback and clues of what to do next and what to use within the game. So if I move to the left here, you can also see that the character would go to the left here and right here. So as we progress through the game, we see that there is also consistency between what I can use the mouse to. For example, I'm able to hold the mouse here. And then this is here. Nice. So here in the first try, we see that there's a player-related uncertainty where there's definitely a part of the interaction where I wasn't able to pin. So as you can see again here, it shows how should I use the mouse to move on the game here. Also in the sidebar, we also see that the Meta team also has consistency with within the high visual of the game is minimum text as possible. So here there is no text and highly just minimum icons for the menu bar here. We also see that the team has also added further in-game satellite mechanics compared to other versions here, such as the card swapping, where you swap the cards around. Here you can see that the main character needs a knife, and then how would I attain that is by using the card swapping thing here. Here in the new game satellite mechanics, card swapping is where you move the card to the slots and the cards will interact with each other, and then the output of the combination of both cards will be shown. So here in my first chart, we see that there is a player and relative uncertainty, which was definitely a part of the interaction where I wasn't able to pinpoint how the cards should be arranged for the first meet or like for the first process here. But then once that was done, then it was pretty much straightforward between other meet and what to do next here. So in this game, I think I should be able to use the mushroom to attract the fish here. And okay, so as you can see in the older version of Samorost 2, there's not much in-game satellite mechanics, where most of the interactions and mechanics are point click, and it's much more straightforward of what to do next here and there. So with this abstract and eerie theme of artwork, players are immersed to a discovery and expression of the aesthetic theme within the gameplay. As a player find a new discovery throughout the game world, Samorost 3 eschews language in an attempt to that conveys something that the world can be used. And thus, different users will have different interpretation and observation differently. So with that being clarified, I want to talk about like how we get a sense that the game runs through an annotated narrative with a limited user engagement to the change towards the story. So the closest to the reward and economic system that is employed within the gameplay would be somewhat of a converter where when some task is completed, players get a chance to attain new items to process throughout the gameplay. So with this abstract and airy theme of artwork, players are immersed in discovery and expression of the aesthetic theme within the gameplay. So as a player finding discovery throughout the game's world, Samorost tree and choose language in a sense that conveys something that words cannot be used. And then different user will have different interpretation and observation differently. So with this being clarified, we get a sense that the game runs through an annotated narrative with limited user engagement to exchange within the story. So closest to the reward and economic system that is employed within the game would be somewhat of a converter, where when some tasks complete, players get a chance to attain new items to progress throughout the game. And from here, clues and visual clues, as well as negative feedback, is emphasis on the new interaction between new objects that we meet within the game. So I also want to state that the game also runs a goal-based agent where players also need to fulfill each goal just to progress throughout the game, as well as exploring new places and looking at new visual artworks.